Good evening, lovely viewers. Thank you for tuning into Somalia's premium #1 station for news and updates. I'm a presenter, Abdurrahman Yusuf. Tonight, we have a lot in store for you, but first, let's take a look at the stories that are making our headlines. 5 Al-Shabaab militants killed by U.S. airstrike in Somalia. SSC Khartoum sends a message of regret to the federal government of Somalia. Puntland State Minister inculpates President Mahmoud of overlooking dire situation in Las Anod. Glad to have you on board. Now let's delve into a full bulletin. 5 Al-Shabaab militants were reportedly killed in an airstrike in central Somalia, according to the U.S. military command in Africa. AFRICOM said the collective self-defense airstrike took place on July 19th in remote area close to Hariri Kale, about 15 kilometers south of Galad, in a statement to the media on Thursday. Here's a full report. 5 Al-Shabaab militants were reportedly killed in an airstrike in central Somalia, according to U.S. military command in Africa. AFRICOM said the collective self-defense airstrike took place on July 19th in a remote area close to Hariri Kale, about 15 kilometers south of Galad, in a statement to the media on Thursday. According to AFRICOM, the attack supported Somali National Army forces battling Al-Shabaab. The federal government of Somalia requested the strike, the statement continued. According to AFRICOM, it will keep evaluating the operation's outcome from Wednesday and will not offer more details as appropriate. Since 2006, the Somali government has been battling Al-Shabaab terrorists. Although the group was driven out of major cities, it still rules over sizable portions of the countryside. The Somali army launched a military offensive in August 2022, with the help of locally organized fighters taking control of parts of central Somalia from the militant group. In retaliation, the militants have raided military installations and severely damaged government forces in the south and central regions. Hussein Sheikh Ali, the National Security Advisor to Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, told the Voice of America this week that the Somali government anticipates receiving financial support in December from a conference to raise money for the Somali army that will be held in New York. According to Ali, the European Union, the United States, the United Kingdom, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates and Qatar will all sponsor the international donor conference with Somalia for the Somali security sector. The Supreme Council of the SSC Khartoum sent a message of regret to the federal government of Somalia following criticism from the traditional clan chief of the Dulbahante, who alleged that the federal government was secretly supporting Somaliland in its military campaign against the SSC militia in Las Anod town. The Supreme Council of the SSC Khartoum sent a message of regret to the federal government following criticism from the traditional clan chief of Dulbahante, who alleged that the federal government was secretly supporting Somaliland in its military campaign against the SSC militia in Las Anod town. In a statement released on Thursday, the council emphasized the need for the government to distinguish between elders who support Somalia's unity and those who support Somaliland's independence. Additionally, they expressed gratitude for the help of the government in nursing and welcoming those who had been adversely affected during the Las Anod conflict. Fighting between the militia from the Dulbahante clan in the northern Somalia and forces from the self-declared state of Somaliland has been ongoing on the disputed city of Las Anod since February 6. The traditional clan chief of Dulbahante and the head of the 33-member SSC Traditional Council, Garad Jama Garad Ali, publicly criticized the federal government, led by President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre, for their alleged involvement in the Las Anod bombardment earlier this month during a public meeting in Nairobi. Garad Jama claimed the Somali government was impeding international efforts to sanction Somaliland. Data from Las Anod hospitals show that 299 people have died, 1,913 have been injured, and more than 200,000 have been displaced by the conflict since it commenced. The federal government began transporting those who had been harmed in the ongoing violence in Las Anod to Mogadishu for medical attention in February. The injured were airlifted from the airport in Garowe, Puntland's regional hub. The SSC Khartoum and Somaliland officials have been urged by the federal government of Somalia to immediately put an end to the fighting in Las Anod town to respect the wishes of the Sol, Senag and Ain communities. The federal government is prepared to take part in an organized peace conference to defuse a tense situation in Las Anod town, according to the Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. The Information Minister for Puntland State, Mohamud Aidid Dir, claims the federal government of Somalia has been compelling the residents of the SSC Khartoum to engage in negotiations with Somaliland despite the fact that Somaliland forces are still shelling Las Anod town. The Information Minister for Puntland, Mohammed Aidid Dir, claims the federal government of Somalia has been compelling the residents of the SSC Khartoum to engage in negotiations with Somaliland despite the fact that Somaliland forces are still shelling Las Anod town. The federal government of Somalia is secretly assisting Somaliland in its military campaign against the SSC militia in Las Anod town, according to Garad Jama Garad Ali, who made the claim on Friday. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's apparent preference for starting negotiations with Somaliland over addressing the dire situation in Las Anod has caused concern, according to Dir. Hours earlier, the Supreme Council of the SSC Khartoum had issued an apology to the federal government in response to the criticism from Garad Jama Garad Ali, the traditional clan chief of the Dulbahante and the chair of the 33-member SSC Traditional Council. Lovely viewers, that Las Anod story brings us an end to our bulletin. I wish to thank all those who made this news bulletin a success. Wherever you're tuned in from, blessings galore and have yourselves a lovely night.